Okay, so we're going to look at two watches here. We've got the first one I'll start with is the 6309, and the case reference is 7049. So this is the model that everyone's after. Now, just having a look at the dial there, I can see it's lost a bit of lume on some of the markers. I'd be reluctant really to touch that, because whenever you relume these, you can never get them looking like the way the factory did. The factory actually puts them on with what's called a pad printer. So there's a big ball, and they've got a little die, and the paint's on there, and the ball squishes down on the pad, on the little template, and then squishes it onto the dial. So you get this perfect appearance every time, and it's sort of got a 3D appearance as well. But I wouldn't be able to get that if I reloomed it by hand. It would look a little bit domey. And yeah, I'd probably recommend leaving it, but we can always talk about that more. The hands, the loom is sunken a bit, so I've got two options there. I can clean up the hands, but at the moment I've also got those new old stock, well, they're not new old stock, they're actually brand new hands. So for the same sort of price, we could just swap them out, and you can keep that set as a spare. So that might be the better way to go. Just looking at the bezel there, it's a little bit loose, so I'll just look into why that is. I can see the balls there, so that's not a problem. But sometimes what will happen with these is they do get a fair bit of wear on the track that they run on. And what I've been doing to tighten them up a bit, if you can hear that sort of hiss, that's actually some pretty intense hail. But anyway, so what I've been doing to tighten those up a bit is I actually use a slightly larger gasket, which just gives it a bit more firmness and makes it feel a bit more like it should. So on the sides there, I can clean that up. So we'll get that looking pretty much like it should again. It's gone a little bit dull, so we can shine that up. So you might see some flashing on the lights on this video, and that's because there's a pretty serious storm outside. Now I'm just going to take the back off there. So looking inside, it's fairly clean, so I wouldn't expect too many dramas there at all. Usually when I get these, they've sort of got rust everywhere and stuff like that, but this one's pretty clean, so we'll clean that up. And just looking at the barrel, it looks like it hasn't really got any wear on it, but I won't know until I get it out, because if they've been serviced, quite often they clean them up. But if the barrel does have wear on it, I'll probably need to replace or repair the barrel arbor ports, either one or both of them, just depending on how they look. But yeah, no, I think we'll get a good result on that. I don't see too many hurdles there. So in summary, we just got to figure out what we want to do with the dial and hands there. So I'd recommend leaving the dial alone and maybe just putting on the OEM hands while they're still around. So just putting that one aside, and then moving on to the 7002. So this one's actually the best one I've ever seen. So the dial there's perfect. Usually when you get these, they really look terrible, but this one's quite good. So the hands are a little bit mouldy. I'll have a think about what to do with that, because these have a slightly odd loom colour. So yeah, I'll think about that a bit more, and just sort of work out what to do there. The case is in really good condition. Normally these look like they've been at the bottom of the sea for about 10 years, but this one's in good condition. So I'll just run over that just with some, just with a cloth, just impregnate it with a little bit of stuff just to get it bright again. On the inside, that's, yeah, I mean, that's as good as they come. It's absolutely clean, so that's going to take to a service pretty well. I don't really see any problems there at all. I can see the gasket there's long since gone, so we'll obviously replace that as part of it. But Yeah, that's really good. We'll just check the bezel action as well. Now these came with two different types of bezels. The early ones have a click ball and the later ones have a click spring. So that one there has got the click ball. So it's bi-directional. Feels pretty good, but definitely the gasket's dead. So I think the replaced gasket, that'll work really well. I think it's had the yeah, I think that's a bezel insert replacement as well, but it's not a bad one, so I'd leave that alone. But yeah, no, that looks really good. I'll have a think about those hands and just work out what to do there, because you'll see with these they've got a slightly they're not a creamy looking loom like the 6309s. They're kind of like a grey white or grey green white, so it's a really odd colour, but I might have something here that matches, or I don't know, maybe we can have a look at some different hands or something, but I'll chat to you later about that and see how we go with it. The oh yeah, the crystals on both are pretty much perfect, so I reckon I'll leave those well alone. But there we go, so that's both of those there. Alright, so yeah, I'll work out what to do with those hands, and I'll speak to you soon.